Do you know someone that's endured a great tragedy in their life? Maybe they lost a loved one, a relationship ended, or they faced a setback in their career. If you want to help, sometimes all you have to do is listen. Performance coach and author Scott Wimberly is here to tell us more. Scott, it's good to see you again.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about just listening to people. I know whenever someone has a problem, I'm a proactive type person. So I tend to listen, and then I want to give them advice and guidance, and that's not really what I should be doing, is
All right, you're like me, you want to fix it.
That's right, I'm a fixer.
You tell me your problem, now here's what you got to do, and then when they don't do that, we get mad and leave them.
That's right.
And we do that. But a friend of mine told me not long ago that if you treated 90% of the people, or no, if you treated everybody that you met today as if they were hurting, wounded in some way emotionally, that 90% of the time you'd be right. And that was astounding to me.
Wow.
That, you know, in some form or fashion, it may be something from their childhood, it may be something recent. But people are hurting, but we cover it up real good, you know, and because the number one reason is they give you is I don't have anybody to talk to. The translation of that is I don't have anybody to talk to that I trust. I don't have anybody to talk to that will actually listen and not say anything back. So a lot of people just need that sounding board, someone just to be a friend that will stand behind them, stand beside them, and not leave them, not let them go. When they do become vulnerable, and that's hard to do. And again, men or you know, we're not good at that, at becoming vulnerable at all. But there'll never be any healing in your life if you don't become vulnerable. You got to take you know, we have the knife wound in our back, so to speak, and we just put the Band-Aid over the knife wound, and we leave the knife there. So you got to take the knife out, and that's the painful part, because then you become vulnerable and you open up, and we don't want to do that. And so it can be difficult, but there are, you know, 90% of the time you'd be right if people are hurting, and that messes me up, you know.
Well, it's such a huge number of people.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, let me ask you this. One of the things that I have a problem with listening to people is that I start to run into a situation to where, particularly whenever it comes to relationship, because for whatever reason, people tend to come to the unmarried single guy, you know, for relationship advice, because I've really got this all figured out, obviously.
That's right.
But you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
And where I run into problems is that I start to feel like someone's codependent after the second or third go-round. You know, oh, you're still having trouble with your girlfriend, and you know, then they want to take up, you know, 10, 15 minutes of your time telling you basically the same thing they told you last time.
The ones you run from in Walmart.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. If you see me running through Walmart, that's probably why. Sure. And you have those, and you have to be careful. And I have to be careful in what I do to not make people dependent on me, enabling them.
Right.
Because I want to help them do it they have to do it. So if you have to be careful with that codependency and not enabling them to make them dependent. Then you become that controlling that we've talked about before. And you don't want to do that or manipulate people. So you have to be careful with that. You have to have a little discernment, not really common sense, but just, you know, just by listening.
Right.
And you'll hear that. You'll hear there's catchphrases and things that they'll say that you'll get the idea of this person is just being a little codependent on me.
Right, right. They're not wanting to move forward. They just want to stay. The relationship is over, and the only thing that they've got left is the misery, and they love to let the misery go.
They're comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, and we don't. You know, that comfort zone thing we've talked about.
Right.
You got to get out of that, and the one way to do it is talk it out. But again, you don't want to be talking about the same thing that happened to you in the 6th grade. You know, and you're still talking about it.
Right.
Although there could be some awful things that happened in the 6th grade.
Right.
You know, don't get me wrong. But if you're majoring on that still, you know, again.
They may need to find a professional listener.
That's right.
One that gets paid by the hour.
That's right.
Lay on the couch. Your time's up.
Lay on the couch and do you love your mother? That's right.
That's exactly right. Scott, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
You can find out more about Scott, his books, and following the roadmap to your destiny online at scottwimberly.com.